Hey guys, so I just wanted to quickly start talking about the markets and what's been happening today in the markets. And one of the things I wanted to focus on was this heat map for today. Hopefully, you can see my screen share and the situation that we are in at the moment with the S&P 500. So, actually, this is the Nasdaq. So, let's go to the S&P 500. That's the main one I wanted to look at today. So S&P 500, we have a big sell-off today. Nvidia minus 9%, Apple 3%. These are all the big players here. You have AMD, AVGO, a lot of selling off on these mega caps. And then we have consumer durables doing well today, Coca-Cola, P&G, and so on. And then we have G&G, J&J, and a few other ones doing well. But across the board, a sell-off. And how is this reflected on the charts? So if we go to my chart here, because this is a chart that I've just started sharing now online, there's going to be a few things that I might talk about in terms of what's happened here in terms of price action. We've had this channel going up. Then we had a number of retests on the lower band of that channel with support on this trend line. So a channel underneath this channel, and then eventually it broke down, sold off on the 5th of August with the Japanese carry trade. And then we had, I'm just going to adjust my seat really quickly. And then we had this instant rise to almost all-time highs, and now we're having price rollover. Okay, so we're seeing price now completely roll over. And one of the things I had in mind here was initially I thought that it would resist around this intersection where there's a number of trend lines and support and resistance. It didn't do that. And then we saw a box forming up here, consolidation, and now we're seeing the sell-off today. And it's one of those kind of sell-offs that by the formation of the candle, you can tell that it could be a big sell-off, and it could go well into the next few days. And hopefully we get one. We get some support around this area here. Personally, I don't mind if this is a huge sell-off and we get price back down to around 5.1K or even 4.8 thousand on the S&P 500, because it makes everything cheaper. Everything becomes slightly better to trade, and we can take advantage of these opportunities. So with the RSI down here, we did have this bearish divergence, which never popped up on this indicator, but we can clearly see it there. And now we're having a weakening strength and momentum. And once we break below zero, I do think that we're going to go even lower and potentially to this area here around 5,300 initially, and then we'll see where we can go later on. Now on the weekly chart, which is one of my favorite charts to analyze, to look at the macro, and then we're going to look at the monthly as well. One of the things I love to do is I love to analyze the reaction price to moving averages. Here we've kind of had a double top, and then now we are testing the first moving average, and potentially we could retest this area around 5,400, or like I mentioned earlier on the daily chart, 5,350. There is plenty of room on this RSI for price to drop to become cheaper and more affordable, and for more momentum to start kicking in again, and for buying power to come into this asset again, or this index. On the monthly chart, what I wanted to point out, that I have pointed out to my Telegram group, which I'll put the link down below in my description, is I didn't like the way this move was bouncing off this 10 EMA here, right? So it's an instant bounce off the 10 EMA. And usually when we look at historical price, when that bounce happens, it doesn't lead to a bull run. It does require for price to come back down and fill this gap in between price and the moving average eventually. And I was expecting it to happen in September. And that's exactly what's happening right now. On the first 2 days of trading, we are seeing that. So hopefully we get a retest of 5,200, 5,300 again corresponding with that level that I marked on the daily. So it's going to be very interesting here. Now, to point out that this doesn't happen often, and when it does happen, it does not lead to a bull run or continuation of a bull run. Let's look at any other bounces on the 10 EMA. We had one here, then it came back down and rolled over. We had one here, but it's not the same dynamic. It's not overextended the way this was, and price forming a gap between the 10 EMA here. So that's not the same, in my opinion. And then when we did have a retest right here, this one closed red. In our example recently, it closed green. It doesn't mean anything. It's a hammer. So we were probably going to get a sell-off anyway. So I already predicted a sell-off in my Telegram group. I do recommend you guys go and join that for free. I don't sell signals. I don't really care for it. I do have a private members group on Discord, but you have to know exactly how I trade to become part of it. So it's essentially for free. I give a lot of information there. Recently, one of my trades has been Polestar, and I'm going to cover that shortly, right now. So next index I want to look at is the NASDAQ and how this looks in comparison to the S&P 500. When we do look at the monthly here, we do see that price didn't go back to all-time highs on those levels that we saw on the S&P 500. However, it is also rolling over here, coming back down. Once the retest of that 10 comes in, it just increases the likelihood that we're going to get a retest of 20 EMA. So it's just one of those things that we might just, it's almost a guarantee that we're going to get that area there, okay, in my opinion. So if we go to the daily chart, one of the things that I've been looking at, let's go actually to the weekly chart, okay, is this long-term ascending channel. And the next level is here after a retest of this top part of the channel, top band of the channel, is for it to come down to the midpoint and then potentially go a little bit higher and then roll over all the way down to this lower band of the channel. And if we do a calculation here from the current price to this area, it's a drop of around, I'd say around 25%, 27%. And that's, for me, that's very realistic. The initial level that I would look at is around 9 to 8% around this midpoint on this band and see how that reacts, and then potentially look for that further downside momentum for 27% at 13,780. I'm probably stretching myself here with this formation on the daily, the head and shoulders, but it could easily form here, and we could easily have this break of the neckline on the daily chart as well. So I'm mainly looking for a retest of this area. Again, I'm not in any significant positions in stocks. I do have some positions open. They are around break even, and some of them are in profit, like Polestar is around 55%. So even if the stock market does fall a little bit, it won't impact my portfolio, and I'll explain why that is. So yeah, that's the NASDAQ. Now, if we go and look at the Russell 2000, same exact formation here, complete rollover, and we're probably going to get a retest of this lower band around 2060, in my opinion. There's just too much selling off here at the moment. And the other market I want to cover quickly is crypto. I want to cover Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been very interesting. There's a lot of things that have been happening, but one of the main formations that we're getting is a descending channel, and I've traded pretty much every ebb and flow of this channel here. I traded a move upwards, made around 45% here on this trade, and I've traded since up and down this channel, making 10% here, 6% here, and another 6-7% down here, even though it went down 30% because I sold around this area, expecting it to roll over even further. And now I am actually in a short position here, and I'm looking for a retest of the 54K level, and then if it breaks the descending channel, I probably want to see 50, 49, and then 46. So we'll see here. But if we reach around 40, 50 or 46, Bitcoin becomes a nice buy again. But I'm in a short, and I like the short, and I think it can roll over. And there's a lot of downside potential here if the market conditions are correct. So the other thing I want to focus on here is this faint blue line that's following price. This is the VWAP. I was looking at this VWAP break around this area here, and this is almost guaranteeing now that we're going to get a move down to 53K. But first, we need to break that 57K level before we can get that rollover. Ethereum is another one that I want to quickly cover. I've made some drawings here because I share this stuff with my group, my members group. With this one, I did sell my short for 16% on this drop here. I've also shared the short that I traded on my reels and Instagram and a few other social media, and TikTok as well. So you would have seen this trade if you did follow me online. Now, with this one, I do think that it just has to sell. We had a retest here around. We've made, this was support here, this green area, this green support area here, this zone. Support again 4 times, and now it became resistance, and then we came back down, and I'm thinking that it's going to roll over again to about 2,100, maybe even lower. And we also do have a channel here. It has a sharper angle falling down than the Bitcoin channel, so it's slightly more volatile. And if we get this channel and extend it over here, we can actually achieve a price around 1,800. Again, I'm short on this one. I think it can go down even lower. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. In terms of trades, what do I have open right now? I have PayPal. PayPal is one of the trades I've placed. It's reached one of my profit targets here for 15% on the rise. It's still holding strong today, regardless of the selling that's been happening, which is a positive sign. It means I've been picking my stocks pretty well. And what I wanted to say as well here is I'm probably going to look to sell if the market starts falling even more. But I want to see it show a little bit more weakness, because it could easily bounce and then go up here for a 20% profit. I'm also in Polestar, okay? And Polestar has been on a tear today. Polestar has been on a tear, and it has been on a tear since I've entered on the 16th of August, which is around 2.5 weeks now. And what I saw here was actually a huge consolidation in price. Well, a huge drop initially. It's become very, very cheap compared to where it was. It was around $16 up here. I bought it around 89 cents. It was almost a no-brainer, but I bought it with my technical analysis and my own strategy to time the market. So I bought it around this area here after a nice consolidation, a deeper drop, a breakout, momentum coming in, and then I saw it break in the level that I had identified on my strategy. And then, this was around 89 cents. And then it's just been on a complete tear here. It is up around 52%. Let's just see. 53% right now on current price. And on that retest of the resistance area here, 64% today. So again, on this one, I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm expecting this I'm hoping this consolidates around this area. Okay, so I'm hoping this consolidates around this area. We will then see a nice consolidation and then another leg up to $1.77 for 96%. Almost a 2x on this. I'm hoping that we get that in the next few weeks. Hopefully, we can get 2x in 1 month. That'll be beautiful. I'm also in a few other trades. We have Tesla here. I'm not really liking the look of Tesla, to be honest. It's around that break-even point where I've entered, which is around 213. Actually, 220 is where I've entered. So I'm just below that point. So yeah, so we're around there. We're just in a bit of loss here. I'm just holding it for a little bit longer, but I would be happy to sell here for a slight loss if this rolls over, comes back down. It's not a big loss for me. Then we have, what else do we have? We have CGEM, which again, slight profit and break even here. The reason why I don't have a lot in profit at the moment, I only have PayPal's Polestar, because I did sell the ones I did have in profit as they were coming back down and showing weakness. Jiva was a huge winner for me. I share this all over social media. So if you check my Instagram, if you check my TikTok, if you also check my Telegram group where I provide free analysis on the markets, this one went up 46%. I did sell some here, some at target 2 and some at target 1, and then I sold the rest around this area here as it rolled over and showed weakness. I also caught Starbucks. So if we go on the 24-hour chart here, you're going to see it clearly. I caught it around this area here. I spoke about this again on all of my social medias. And yeah, 24% here on this trade. I did sell around this area. I did think that was a bit too weak here, and it would resist this key area here that I marked. And it has done. So, I took my profit and I left. IOVA as well. I did sell this one for around 8%. Actually, it was a bit more. It was around 9%, to be honest. Sort of around this area here for 9%. Happy that I did that, even though this did shoot up again and they come back down. Again, signs of weakness. I'm out. I don't want to be in the stock anymore. So yeah, these other ones here, I think these are probably around break even. Let's look at them quickly. And with the market conditions, I'm probably selling and just taking my profits from the last 2 weeks and then looking for opportunities once the market drops, especially for stocks. So that's it. Let's also grab some. Let's look at let's look at Forex. Let's look at commodities and where we are with those. So I want to look at the Dixie, so the dollar. But before I do that, I also want to look at the VIX. So quickly, let's go to VIX. VIX is here. Let's look at the volatility index. As you can see, guys, there is a key break here and the volatility shot up. Unfortunately, I didn't do a video on this a few days ago, which is what I was intending to do, to be able to show you that I kind of predicted this increase in fear in the markets. But, it is what it is. It's one of those things where I am sharing now and I will be sharing more content. So, yeah, this VIX shooting up, I have covered it on my Telegram. So for you guys that have been following me on Telegram, you're going to be able to see it. And what I want to cover now is the Dixie. So I want to see the state of the dollar. The dollar's increasing, showing that Dollars increasing, other assets are probably going to decrease. So again, stocks are going down, and other assets. So the dollar, I would probably say the dollar needs to retest 102 here. The dollar index 102. We'll get that level. That level will turn from support here twice to resistance, in my opinion, and then come back down again to 100. So that'll be if we get a big sell off in the market, the dollar increases, tests this area, turns it into resistance, and then it comes back down as people start investing again into stocks and riskier assets like crypto. Let's look at gold. Okay, gold. I actually look at another chart for gold, which is the XAU USD chart. Let's look at gold quickly. Gold doing great here in terms of the price is in a good place. However, I do think that it needs to come back down and retest this trend line. Once we get a retest of this area, then we'll know whether there'll be where price will go. But yeah, it does need to come down to this area around 2,480. That's something to watch out for. Silver, I took a trade on this last week. It was from this area here to around this area here for 2%. It showed weakness. It didn't even test the trend line here. And then now we're kind of seeing it come back down again, potentially retesting 26 before we've identified other opportunities, and we see whether it will go even further down to these other levels around 24 or 21. Other ones I want to cover really, really quickly are commodities. There are a number of commodities that I've been watching carefully. I did like corn here. Corn's on a tear. I have opened up a trade today on corn, and I'm up around 1.8%. This one is a good one. I do think it will achieve a 1 to 3 risk reward. It's really, really nice. A lot of commodities are doing well, to be honest. But I also liked soybean meals, and this one has been on a tear since I've entered around this area here. Again, guys, if you want to verify what I'm saying here, sorry, this is oats. Again, guys, if you want to verify what I'm saying here, I did cover all of this stuff on in my Telegram group, so do join that and do verify it, do check it. You can ask me questions there. It's an interactive group where we discuss ideas and I answer questions as well from other traders of whatever experience level. So yeah, oats done really, really well here. 7%. I am looking for 25%. This is a risk reward around 1 to 3 here. I also liked, it was soybean meals. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So this one I've entered today. Today's up 2%. I'm up about 1.7% here, 1.2% actually. And I do think that this could be a 16%er around this area. Nice risk reward of 1 to 3. Commodities, especially agricultural commodities, are offering amazing opportunities right now. So this is an amazing opportunity here. Pretty much across the board, they look good. Soybean oil, not so good. I don't like it. It's rolled over. I do like rice futures, but on a breakout above this area here on 15.26. And I also like, I think it was cotton. Yep, cotton. I'm watching this one carefully here. Again, I want that break around 71 for momentum to kick in. And I like cacao, but I want cacao to retest the support, bounce again, and then break out of this wedge for a retest. So from 7,600 all the way up to 11,000. And if we do a risk reward analysis here, it will probably be 1 to 3.3, which is great because I have a win rate of around 55-60% on my trades. Beautiful setups here on agricultural commodities. I also liked natural gas. Okay, natural gas has done a double bottom here, and I'm looking for this breakout. I want this breakout for 1 to 3 up here, but maybe I want it 2 based on what I'm seeing on the chart in terms of key resistance. So 1 to 2. So that's it for today. I will be trying to do these every day, Monday to Friday, and I will be doing a big weekly analysis of the market every Sunday, where I give you my ideas, what I'm looking at in terms of the overall market, and also some of the trades I'm taking in the market. So yeah, plenty of analysis will be provided on this channel. So do subscribe, do follow me on all of my social medias, and do go to my Telegram group where I provide this analysis directly to my members for free, completely for free. I don't charge anything. I don't need to charge you guys for anything. Thank you.